I told you that a conversation, a series of conversations, could impact your quality of life in unmeasurable proportion. Well, I created this forum called Lyfe Podcast with me, Lion Man, that's designed to inspire, motivate, educate, and put a fire under your feet that have you running toward those sleeping dreams, visions, and desires that's been dormant way too long. Let's have a conversation. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Today I have a very important message. As I was going around my home and doing my daily routine, and in the midst of that, God speaks to me, and I'm thankful for that. And as I was posting and sharing, the men that had influences in my life and just reflecting on that and doing my daily routine, God brought something dropped a nugget into my thinking. All right. Now, this is not excuses. Let me repeat that. This is not excuses. This is an important nugget. All right, for mothers, sons, fathers, and all in between. Very important. It's a different perspective. Because see, our perspective dictates how we internalize information and activity and things that we've experienced. And it can change our behavior by just changing the perspective. So I'm going to give you a perspective that I want you to consider. You don't have to embrace, you don't have to like, you don't have to adapt. This is just a perspective that God shared with me that I found very profound. A lot of us, especially in the African American community, grew up in households without a father. Even though we may have had people around us that could give us knowledge and wisdom in the form of the male species that we can identify as a human father figure, still the lack of the experience of growing up with the father in the home, seeing a practical example of what it looks like. And I can even extend this to having healthy interactions with fathers in the home versus unhealthy interactions with fathers in the home. And when we lack this environmental, practical experience as men, we grow up with misinformed information that is digested into our DNA and into our behavioral movement in life that is a warped sense of what a man or a father is supposed to be. I did not know how to be a father. I didn't know what a father looked like in the home. I didn't know and have a conscious awareness or an example that showed me the struggles of what it looks like to have a father in the home. And I see that a lot of us men, especially again in the African American community, go through the same experience. Now, that's not an excuse, because we do have to come to a point, and we are given enough information that we can change what that domestic human experience was and do something different. And a lot of men have done this. But for those that's not been able to and that struggled with this, right? Let's give them a break. And for them, give yourself a break. If you are making attempts, or if you're in the process of change, see, there's 5 stages to change. And if you're in the process of change, to become and be a viable father to your children, then let's recognize that. Recognize it for yourself. Mothers, baby mamas, wives, let's give a little credit. Let's give a little room. Let's give some encouragement. Yes, they may not be in all fulfilled manner of the father that you hope for them to be, the children hope for them to be, and what you don't know is what they even hope for themselves to be. But they're in the process. And if we shut that process down by keep on pointing out what they ain't doing, what they can't do, what they aren't doing, what they could be doing, instead of embracing and encouraging what they are doing, then we limit the growth process. We stunt the growth process. Yes, some it motivates them to push harder. But I'm speaking about the ones that it don't. See, we can't internalize what another person's experience is within themselves. We can't go inside the psyche and be able to dissect what it is to be that man, trying to be that father. Now, again, this is not excuses. And this does apply to those that are in the process and not have arrived yet at becoming and being the father they call themselves to be. This was a positive nugget. I hope that you all take it that way. I took a moment to set up studio to come and give this message because I thought it was that important. I'm still in my pajama bottoms. All right? But I know that this was important because it was important for me. See, I'm encouraging myself because I lacked the understanding, the experience, and the exposure to what it was to be like to be a father to my children. But thank God, today I'm in the process of becoming the father that I want and hope to be. I'm doing where I wasn't. I'm thankful for that for myself. And I want to encourage those who are at the brink or that stage of change is still in the contemplation stage where they're recognizing and identifying with where they lack and where they want to be. See, that's the beginning of it. Pre-contemplation, contemplation, educational nugget in the 5 stages of change. So let's help and assist them to move to the next stage by encouraging them. Thank you for tuning in. Again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And my hat's off to you leaving legacies. This has been Lion Man with Lion's Den's podcast. Let's have a conversation.